Hey, it's David Perdue here from MyNAMS.com and the Novice to Advanced Marketing System. And we are talking about building your list of buyers. So I've put up a couple of videos over the last few days, really giving you some specifics on how to do exactly that, to focus on building your list of buyers. And I got Jennifer Perdue, my daughter, on here with me today because she runs our business basically. And she does, she's the one who kind of implements everything that we do. And we're talking today with her about one of my big concerns. And Jen, I see this on Facebook and it drives me crazy. When people will get into a marketers group on Facebook and they'll start bad-mouthing buyers, customers. They start bad-mouthing these customers and saying, yeah, what an idiot. I can't believe this person couldn't figure that out. And I just cringe when I see that, because I think if that person has that kind of attitude about people that are putting food on his table, you know, what's he really like in person? I don't want to be around people like that. The thing about buyers to me is it's so important. And I know you've run into some really rough people when you have to do some service response to them. So responding to those people in a pleasant way is really important. So there's two things here. I want to tell you, you haven't said a word yet, and I'm going to let you talk in a minute.
Okay.
But I want to tell you a story about, you don't know this, but about one of my first workshops I did maybe 12 or 13 years ago with, maybe longer, with Mark Hendricks. And Mark was my go-to guy then. He was my coach then. And like at the second workshop I went to with Mark, a guy in the audience who was Australian stood up and said, I want to tell you why I'm here today. Mark, who had sold him a $25 software product, had stayed up in the middle of the night because the guy was in Australia to help him get that installed and working. It took about 3 hours to get it going because there was a problem. They couldn't quite get it done on his server. And so the guy said, I was so impressed that Mark would do that for me on a $25 product that I booked my ticket to the next workshop that he was doing, $500, and booked a plane to get here, $700, booked my hotel, another $300 or $400, and all of it. So he spent almost $2,000 because Mark helped him because he was a customer. And that was a huge lesson to me, that when people have a problem, it's an opportunity to turn them into a lifetime customer. You get that?
Yeah. And, you know, that was my background. And so, you know, one of the reasons why you brought me into this business was originally to help with, you know, setting up and creating support systems. And, you know, I come from 20 years of customer service training and, you know, employee and staff training and things like that. And so I really did have a good feel for, you know, the processes and how you set customers, how you meet the customer's expectation when you when you're in a support scenario. And so, you know, one of the things that I think is it is very difficult to answer the same questions over and over and over again. You know, one of the things as a business owner that we have to do, if you find that you're getting the same questions over and over and over again, is listen to your buyers and see where the deficiency is. If people are asking you the same question over and over, you haven't explained something correctly, or you haven't explained it in a way that they're understanding. You know, a lot of times we write and we're like, it's right there, it's on the page, it's I'm telling you. But if the customers aren't getting it and they're asking over and over, it means that we have to adjust how we are responding to the buyers. And so, you know, it's taking little things like that and really paying attention to what your buyers are telling you, because when you are able to implement those kinds of changes because of their feedback, they see that. Yep. And it's something that goes a long way. You know, I try really hard. You know, as our business has grown and I've moved around in the company, you know, I don't spend as much time in the support desk any longer than I used to, but I have it on my phone and we use Help Scout. And so I still see everything that happens, you know, and if I know that we don't have staff online and it's a Sunday afternoon and it's something I can do quickly, I'll get on there and do it. And the responses that I get back from folks that are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you just responded to me on a Sunday afternoon. This wasn't that important. It could have waited. Little things like that do go a long way. There's a difference between, creating expectations regularly, that people expect for you to drop everything in your support desk and help them versus, doing little things like that just to help folks out. And I personally have always tried to make sure that we're giving the best that we can, because I know that I want that.
So that's the kind of thing that actually builds the relationship. And when we're talking about buyer relationships here, that's the key to the whole thing. Is if you want a buyer to buy from you again,
right,
you have to protect and nurture that relationship. And so, I really believe the attitude carries through always. So the reason we're talking about buyers right now and buyer relationships, that's not really a technical thing. It's more of a mindset thing, more of a way to do business kind of thing. But it's a huge thing inside this whole concept of building your buyers list, because you can lose your buyers as fast as you build them, right? And I see people doing that all the time. So,
well, and the other thing though too is the entire purpose of building a buyer's list, especially when we're building first-time buyers list with low ticket items. The entire idea behind that is to move them up and ascend them in your business to your higher priced products. And one of the ways to do that is to show your customers the same respect at $7 as you would with somebody who spent $500 with you. That helps you to monetize that buyer's list. I know this sounds kind of a little mercenary that we're talking about it in this regard, but it really is.
It's higher value for higher money is what it is.
Right.
So they're getting what they pay for when they do that, but everybody gets the same kind of service and the same kind of attention. Well, that's not exactly true. Everybody gets the same kind of service for whatever product they purchase, right? So that's really important, is to respect the value of their transaction. It's tough to give up an email address these days, let alone $10. People just don't trust people online as much as they used to, there's good reason for that. So my point about this, and I don't want to go on too long here with this video, is that we want to make sure that when we work with buyers, that we turn frowny faces into happy faces, because when we do that, happy faces, happy buyers are happy customers, and they stay that way for a long, long time. And they also become some of your best customers. I would say, out of our boot camp members, we have about 20 boot camp members, and I'd say probably 10 to 15 to 20% of those started out as angry people with us. And they pay a lot of money. So it's important to really nurture people and value what they bring to the table. And what they bring to the table is cash as a buyer.
And most of the time, and everybody that has a support desk out there knows that 99% of the people that reach out to you in your support desk, they're not doing it to just say, hey, I hope you're having a nice day today. It just doesn't happen that way, right? And so the majority of those people that are reaching out to you on your support platform have a problem. And so, we want to make sure that we continue to keep those people happy too, because when you are trying to sell a low ticket item, low cost item, to build a buyer's list, there's some cost involved for yourself as the marketer or the vendor, to get that buyer. And so, if it costs you $4 to get that buyer and your product is $7, you only have got a $3 profit there. And if you lose them, you don't have the opportunity to build them into your ascension model in your business. And so we really want to make sure we value that.
And I think tomorrow or in the next few days here, that we'll also talk a little bit about building a low-cost ticket platform so that you can get in with buy. It's one of the techniques of building a buyer's list. And so we'll probably come back together and talk about that, because you and I do that really well. We can build products very fast, and anybody can, once you realize that you got them laying around all around you, that you can just pick up something and really turn it into a pretty valuable product based on your knowledge. So the reason we're doing this is because we want you to join us for the Build Your Buyers List workshop coming up on January 30th and 31st. And it is incredibly intense. We've done 3 of these so far. Last year we did 3. We're doing 6 this year, and they are done every other month this year. And they focus on a specific marketing topic like building a buyer's list. There's not a lot of folks that you're going to see doing a 2-day workshop on building a buyer's list. We're going to get into it deep, and we're going to get you everything that you need to really get started creating that kind of a list, because buyer's list is so much more valuable than a freebie seekers list.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this because as people are coming in and signing up for the workshop, I'm seeing the survey results that are coming through as the introduction. And, that allows us to build the content of the workshop specifically around what our buyers are telling us that they need the workshop to be built around. So yes, we have a framework of this, but this is an example of us listening to our buyers specifically, and they are helping to not dictate necessarily, they're helping to steer the direction of the content for that workshop. So I'm so excited to see all of their responses coming through. It's been awesome.
So if you want to get in right now with the best price possible, the price is going up in a few days, but if you want to get in right now with the best price possible, you need to click the button below this video. And I might even put the domain, the URL on this video as well. So you can take a look there and just type it in if you want. But we will hope to see you in the workshop on